Yes, a new Super Mario Bros. Trailer has been finally released after delay that it was going to come out this December and now being released in April. And we get a teaser showing off the iconic characters, that is Mario, a little bit of Luigi, Toad, and Bowser. And first off, it's crazy that we're finally seeing a Mario movie finally coming out after many decades since, the terrible cult favorite, still love it to this day, 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie. But now we finally get this full animation style that I think us gamers or even Mario fans alone have been waiting for. From now, surprisingly enough, that is from the studio doing it is from the people that did Despicable Me. But I think they came through very strong and very well with this, especially with Nintendo probably definitely like on their asses about making sure everything looks great and detailed and really feeling like the Mario games itself in that world. And I love the trailer. I think the trailer did a great job. I think it did a great job showing who Bowser is. I think they did a great job of showing what Mario looks like, Toad looks like, what the kingdom. It feels like a very good Mario vibe. And it's probably one of the best animation out there that I have seen so far in 2022. Well, now 2023 probably. But kudos to them for really coming through to kind of just wow me personally of what they're showing. As for the voice actors doing the part, Jack Black playing Bowser, which Bowser is one of my favorite video game villains of all time, and I think he did a wonderful job. If I only had one little con about it, I wish they kind of put a little bit more into his voice, like a little bit more, I don't know, more bass, more growl, or something in there that kind of makes him feel a little bit more fearful. But, it's not that big of a deal. It's not a deal breaker for me. I think he's still putting in the role of really showing who Bowser is, in my opinion. And I think he came in really well doing it. Maybe it's because, I didn't want him to sound too Jack Black. I still hear a hint of it, but maybe that's just me personally being picky about it. But at the end of the day, great job. And I love the fact that they're showing Bowser coming on this floating ship, which is the iconic World 8 ship that he's going into, instead of his typical pirate ships or floating flying ships that you want to call it from Super Mario 3 and whatnot. And right there, you're meeting the Penguin Kingdom, which the Penguin Kingdom, I guess, only exists that we know in Mario 64. So to see them come in this is really interesting, and it makes you wonder, what other worlds is Bowser going to be conquering? What other worlds are we going to observe and see in this movie? And I love the fact that, they made this epic thing and it ended up being like a snow fight, and that's all they can really do. And then we go into seeing the iconic character himself, Mario, and that's being played by Chris Pratt. And the internet right now is in a big split of how they feel about him doing his voice and everything like that. There was a lot of talk about he's going to come in strong with this voice. He's going to do a voice like no other and everything. And to be honest with you, I would like to hear more. But so far, on the little bit of a nugget that we got from him, it does just sound like Chris Pratt being Chris Pratt. And I think that Chris Pratt needs to go back in a little bit more and put a little more in there. Just add a little hint of more Italian in there. Maybe a little bit of something in there. It just feels like Chris Pratt through the cracks of his voice, and I want to hear a little bit more of that. Even the fact that if you watch the French trailer for this, the French dub trailer, the guy that does his voice sound way more Italian, look a little bit more effort in there. Now, I don't know if Chris Pratt's not putting enough effort in. I don't know about that, but all I know is that the internet and I think we're at agreement that we want to see Chris Pratt come a little bit more into it for that part. And maybe they have to go back and, redub some voices, redo some lines or something like that. But until we get a full trailer, I really want to see if he's really going to bring that role in for Mario. As the other cast, I think other cast does well. I think that Charlie Day playing Luigi, we still don't know exactly how he sounds. We kind of heard him kind of just gasp a little bit, but we don't know exactly what he's going to sound like. And then lastly, we have, the Toad himself, which I think out of all of them, Toad sounds really, really good for that part. I think Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, he's sounding great. Sounds like he put a lot of work in it. And yeah, overall, I'm still excited. I definitely probably want to see this movie on day one. Just definitely check it out, 'cause I'm just a huge Mario fan, and I can't wait to see what everybody else is gonna come through. Especially like I think the easiest roles in this movie that I think is gonna be, you have to try really hard to mess up, in my opinion, is Princess Peach and Donkey Kong. Even though like Donkey Kong is being played by Seth Green, I feel like it's more of like Donkey Kong playing a Seth Green than Seth Green's going to play Donkey Kong. But I like to be fooled. I like to be wrong. I want to see if he actually put in some effort into it. But I don't know why. When I hear Donkey Kong and Seth Rogen, I'm going to hear that iconic laugh from Seth Rogen, but in a Donkey Kong outfit or something like that. But I hope that this does well, because, you know, the Sonic movie that came out the last couple of years, Sonic 1, Sonic 2 are doing really well, and maybe now we'll finally get this nice streak of good video game movies, especially in the animation department. So, what are your thoughts? Do you like the trailer? Are you excited to see the movie? What character stood out to you? Do you think Jack Black does a good job for Bowser? Do you think Chris Pratt did a good job as Mario? Let me know with the comment down below.